Hi Sagittarius, this is for any sun, moon, or rising Sagittarius. We're going to take a look at the cards. We'll get a sense of the big ideas or the awareness for the week, guidance and possible outcomes.
Diving for light. Diving for light. So what does diving for light mean? I think it's a beautiful card. We see the seahorses here. It's really digging deep within yourself, taking the time to meditate, to reflect, to pray, to journal, but to think about your life. It's, I think, in many ways, diving for light. It would be similar to the hermit walking with your lantern, illuminating the way where you have to dive deep in order to see your own light and to see what's going on inside and within your heart, within your soul, and look for the good things. Think about the good things. Try to give yourself some credit for being awesome. And diving for light it's also a wonderful reminder to try to think about lightheartedness, being light with others. The serious heaviness of the world is oppressive and it weighs us down, and we can get caught in this negative downdraft of just everything that we feel is going against us, with this crazy weather and the events that are happening and people having tremendous losses. And it's hard sometimes to think about that there's light in every situation, that there's goodness and kindness and humanity that comes out of tremendous despair or grief. And along the same lines is that it's up to each and every one of us to think about our light and how we bring it out, how we shine it on other people, how we treat people generally as a rule. And I think the first step in being able to shine your light is you have to be in touch with yourself. You have to do some form of self awareness. You have to dig deep. You have to be ready to explore maybe some of the darker sides that you may be facing, and do so in a compassionate, empathetic, and realistic fashion. And if some of these things are too challenging or too difficult for you to want to approach, then perhaps talking with a counselor, a friend, someone that can put you in the right direction to be able to address the matters that are darker than typical. So, I think that diving for light is a wonderful card telling us to do the work necessary to have our own awareness and to recognize the light within us, and that everybody has a shining light, and that you can bring your light and give it to others every day. And, again, you get more light coming back to you. So now let's take a look at emotional self, spiritual self. This is, I think, John Holland's Spirit Messages Oracle deck. It's a lovely deck. I really like it. I'll put a link in the video for you if you want to check out Oracle decks that are used. This says intuitive nudges. Intuition is the language of the soul. We are all born aware with a profound sense of inner knowing. Intuition is one of the greatest gifts we possess, which keeps us connected to our higher selves, the universe, and to our divine spirit. What an awesome card for the week. And it's something that I firmly believe is that everyone has a strong sense of intuition. Everyone has the ability to be psychic, honestly. We may not use it, we may bury it, but it's all within our being. And so if you can really do things to tune in to your intuition, which is, again, hunches, first responses sometimes to a matter. When something pops in your head, listen to it. Intuition, it's you just have that sixth sense that is telling you to do something, and often follow your intuition. And you have to really trust yourself. And it goes back to knowing your light and finding your light. Often in this, what's happening in society is everybody is watching what other people do, and it influences behavior, it influences desires or wants, and you have to do what makes you happy in life. You have to pursue what's going to be gratifying and enriching and makes your heart happy. And when you look at social media platforms like Facebook and you watch how other people live their lives, and whether they're traveling, whether they're doing what appears to be very cool and fun things, you really never know what's going on behind the scenes. So how does this relate back to intuition? Well, your intuition, trust your intuition in the things that you choose to do, things that you want to do, the goals and the dreams that you have. And if they are not what everyone else is doing, then that's fine. Go with what your heart and your gut and your soul is telling you to do. And, these intuitive nudges, they are, inner sense, inner guidance, paying attention to dreams, looking for silent signals throughout your day, throughout the week. You'd be surprised if you really thought about things. And again, I'm going to encourage the book by Tasha Silver. I think it's called Outrageous Openness, which is really connecting with your divine source, connecting with the messages, being aware of the messages. It's a powerful read, and so I think it's a great complement to thinking about trusting your own psychic capabilities, trusting your own intuition as well. Okay, so let's go to body, and we'll go ahead and give these a few shuffles. Okay. So this is alternative medicine. And it's interesting that it's alternative medicine because this week I was a little bit under the weather, and I got some amazing suggestions from people who watch the videos. And sometimes doing things outside of over-the-counter can be helpful, can be very helpful. And I got some very interesting and cool suggestions to check out. And again, it takes time to go through things. It takes time to order, and sometimes there's expense involved. So, there was elderberry syrup, echinacea, oil pulling, a few other cold care, quite a few things to do. Hot toddies, whiskey in your hot tea, and people have to find alternative medicines and practices that will be suitable for them. What would they find to be, that they would want to try to do? Not everybody wants to do the same things, and so, it's just a matter of experimenting and finding what could work for you, in addition to perhaps seeing your doctor and getting a prescription for what you need. Listen, that's good too. It's be nice to do things in tandem. Alternative medicine, in addition to what you're, trying to heal for. And, I don't consider massage to be alternative medicine or Reiki. I feel that those are very standard practices to help healing. So, Epsom salt baths, acupuncture, acupressure, Swedish massage, whatever it may be, these things have become part of our normal fabric of treatment. So do what you need to do to feel better. And what works for you, works for you. It may not work for everyone. Okay, so let's get a sense here of what to practice for the week. Let's see. Imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. So, imagination is the heart of things that are developed, of where we're headed. Got us to in outer space. It's created the Model T. People have dreams. People solve problems because they are imagining a way to solve problems. And so whether it's on your immediate area of what you want to create, and maybe you're imagining creating some great abstract art, maybe you're imagining a beautiful quilt that you want to sew. Create, imagine, and it's freeing. It lifts your spirit. I think it's a wonderful way to feel connected as you were with a child, when all you had, someone gave you a piece of paper and some crayons and life was fabulous. And at some point, sometimes adults stop feeling that way. And it's really sad, because what can you do in your life to bring back that sense of joy and wonder when it comes to your creativity, when it comes to your imagination, when it comes to being free with your mind and your ability and your talents and your desires? And so, staying creative, doing things that make you happy, that help you, again, find the light within. And it's just a powerful card, which is don't neglect your creativity. Don't let work crush your desire to create. Wedge in a time, if it's 10 minutes of sketching, if it's 10 minutes of playing your guitar or writing a song or writing a poem, whatever it may be, bring it into the forefront of your life. Make it a weekly practice for you to be creative. And finally, I'd like to close the reading with a overarching theme. And I think this is the Cosmic Reading Deck. So let's get a sense. Integrity. So, fabulous card, because isn't it nice to deal with people and to have acquaintances, co-workers that operate from a standpoint of integrity, of being real, of being authentic, of being honest, of looking at the big picture and perhaps the welfare of others. And again, integrity, it's just being very real and being very, I think, straightforward in your asks and your needs. Trying to think about this in terms of, in careers, and it's just how many times you run into people who are lacking in integrity. And it's easy to spot, a mile away. You can see, and not always, but you can see often the folks that might run over other folks to get where they want to go. And doing what's right for yourself and doing the right thing has, the karmic benefits. So if you're gonna skimp on integrity, it's gonna come back. It will come back in some shape or form to you within your life. So that is true. And again, having integrity, it's a mindset, it's a way of life. It's not something that you can turn on and off within a day or two. It's just really a practice every day of a solid, responsible citizen of the world, of the earth, of your community. So I hope that you found something helpful here this week. And for me, I think the three things that really jump out is diving for the light, paying attention to your intuition, your inner guides, your hunches, and don't leave out the imagination. Make the time to do something that brings you the wonder and the carefreeness of creating and building and using your mind for a different task.